Welcome back to Investing and Trading Live. As always, my name is Josh Lilquist, and in the last segment, we talked about a trader's market. It's a stock picker's market, but you need to have a strategy that's able to identify low risk, high reward, and high probability entry points in these financial markets. We're seeing big moves in the markets right now, mostly to the upside, but not every stock is actually going to the upside. We talked about Tesla, which has been dropping, I believe it was 30-something%. Nvidia is up 40-something% in the over the course of this year, 2024. So these opportunities are a stock picker's market, but you have to identify when to buy or when to sell. So that's what we talked about in that last segment. And I tell you what, we had a lot of people coming in or texting into this investing class that we do right here at the Academy to see what these opportunities are. Simply, if you missed that, just text the word investing to the number 210-210. Now, these classes are 2-hour classes where we go through on how the markets work, how they function, talk about some of the opportunities. That way you can make your own decision if the markets are actually for you, but also what asset is the right one to be in. We talked about futures market, forex market, different strategies for income that people are looking for. And on this segment, we're going to talk about those wealth strategies. So if you missed seats for that investing classes, and this is one for you and one for a friend, simply just text the word investing to the number 210-210. Also, we do love our subscribers. We got a lot of subscribers and listeners on the podcast now. Thank you for that. If you do miss part of the show, and we do a live market update almost every single day of the week, simply just go to Investing and Trading Live wherever you listen to podcasts. That's Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify. If you listen to the Spreaker app, that's Spreaker. That actually helps our algos and get us to the top. One of these days, we will be the number one financial podcast in the country, hopefully in the world. So, Al, on this next segment, since it has been a theme of wrestling here today, and WWE, we talked about Cody Rhodes in the first one, The Rock on the second segment, and today in this one here, I want to just do a little bit on Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns, say he comes to Minneapolis and he gets in the squared circle, and he says, "Minneapolis, acknowledge me." And the crowd goes wild, right? And I will tell you something, Al. Last week, on Tuesday, Meta did that same thing.
Yes, they did.
Meta is formerly known as Facebook, and they had earnings. And the price of Meta was at $394, right around there, as the market closed. The market opened up and got surged up to 484. So Meta just said, "Hey, stock traders, acknowledge me."
And they did.
Price went up roughly about 17 to 20%, and that's actually kind of where it's at right now, up 17% in one day.
One day, that's huge.
Huge opportunity. So we acknowledge Meta. Meta, I acknowledge you. But now, last couple days, it's just been kind of sideways. So there are strategies, no matter which way this market goes, especially in your retirement account. So let's just say somebody had Meta in their portfolio. They probably were feeling really, really good. Now, Meta is at $460-something per share. Not everybody can afford that, because to buy one share, you need $466 for that. If you want to buy 1,000 shares, you know how much capital you need for that. So basically, you just multiply 466 times 1,000. So you're welcome, Al, for that math.
Yeah, good job.
Carry the zero. Yes, carry the zero. So now, if somebody has a retirement account, and we've been discussing low risk, high reward, high probability entry points, and they want to be able to get in some of these nice moves, but let's just say they don't have the capital to do that in a retirement account because they're building that capital. You see a lot of people that have 10, 20, 30, 50, maybe 100, maybe $200,000 in their retirement accounts, and they know it's just not enough. So they want to be able to get these opportunities using options. What are some of the things people can use with these other assets to have that better opportunity if they don't have millions of dollars in their accounts?
Yeah, well, you mentioned you could maybe buy one share of Meta or one share of Nvidia. You're not going to make much of a profit on one share. So how do you do that? How do you benefit from something that has gone up so much, that has such a high value? You can use options, and actually each option contract would control the movement of 100 shares of something. So you could benefit or participate in the movement of 100 shares of Meta or NVIDIA or Apple for a fraction of what the stock price cost. And we kind of go over this in these workshops, Josh. We talk about options, what the benefits are there, because there's a number of things you can do with options. You can use options as protection. And a lot of those people actually that have been participating in this market, that have that have seen their 401ks or their portfolios go up in value, now is a point at which you might be a little concerned, because at some point in time people will start taking profits. Or one of the reasons Meta went up so big is because they had a great earnings report. And these companies have been getting rewarded for earnings, but what happens if they don't? Look at what happened to Tesla. Apple has taken a bit of a bath here recently.
A bath?
Well, not a bath, but it's come down. Okay, Apple,
that's different. I've never heard that term before.
Okay.
Well, Apple's currently
a sponge bath.
Yeah, it's currently at right around 189, 190, but it's not at the all-time highs. It's actually in a downtrend, but it's down about 5% from the highs.
Yeah, so these companies, what's going to happen? What happens if the next time Meta has an earnings report, they miss their earnings number or their forward projection is bad? Just as easily as they went up that double-digit return or amount, they can go down that much. In fact, when those companies get punished for missing something or for some kind of bad news, the drop down is much quicker and much faster than it is on the upside. So protection is one of the things you want to really be careful of, and make sure that you have the ability to protect what you have. But if you're looking for additional, let's say you're in retirement, and all of a sudden you realize, you know what, I might have more years to live than I have money to get me through that. So unfortunately, what a lot of people do is they think they have to take on more risk, and they get involved in things that they don't know about, that they shouldn't be in. One of the things that we want to make sure that as one of our students that you know how to do is to identify what the rate of return is that you need to live a comfortable life in retirement, and then how do you get that without taking on extra risk. There's a reward to risk ratio that we concentrate on to make sure that when you're right, the amount that you benefit exceeds anything that you lose when you're wrong. And you're going to be wrong occasionally. Everybody is. If you give your money to a financial advisor, well, look at what happened in the year 2022. Almost every 401k was down 20 to 25%. The stocks we just talked about, Meta, Google, Tesla, Apple, all of those stocks in 2022 were down significantly. Then they had a big run up in 2023 and the beginning of 2024. So they will vacillate. They'll go up and down. So being able to use strategies that eliminate the big hit to you on the downside. So if we go through a bear market, if we go through a major correction or a bear market, which we will because that's how the market functions. It's just fact. It's going to happen again, and you want to make sure if you have any kind of exposure to the markets that you don't get taken advantage of by that bear or that major correction. Yeah,
I was just having a good conversation with some good friends the other day, and they were retired, and they were like, we don't know what's going on with our retirement account. Our advisor says all these sweet things, puppy dogs and rainbows, and they make us feel really good. But they're like, well, we're not seeing any growth in our retirement account, and we're drawing from it, so it's actually starting to go down. So they're like, we need to wrap our arms around our money. We need to do something a little bit different because they know it's not going to last forever. So what they wanted to do is actually learn a strategy that's able to that's designed to profit in those retirement accounts, even off of what you have, but really just using what you have as kind of like there's a strategy with options is where I'm going with this, where you can use as an income strategy off of your wealth bucket. I understand that doesn't make any sense right now, and that's why we have these investing classes, so we can show you those opportunities. So if you do have a retirement account and you want to be able to have an income strategy using that, there's opportunities there. You look at a Roth IRA, if you're over a certain age, and the capital gains, Al, are non-taxed, right? I mean, I'm not a tax person, but if you know that, it's just keeping more of your money sometimes is a better opportunity in to really protect it and grow it, just keeping more, because it's not going to somewhere else, Uncle Sam or a broker advisor that's taking fees out of there no matter what happens. So if you want to learn more about retirement accounts, retirement strategies, if you need to wrap your arms around your money, whether it's a 401k, an IRA, or it's just a bucket of savings that you have, there might be things that you can do with that you didn't know about. And that's why we have these investing classes at the Academy, to show you what those opportunities are so you can do the smartest thing for your money. Simply just text the word investing to the number 210-210 right now for 2 seats for a 2-hour investing class right here at the Academy. We're local. We've been here since 2010. So text investing to the number 210-210 for 2 seats for an investing class to get started with those wealth accounts. Coming up next, Al, I want to talk a little bit about what trading investing actually looks like, and I know you got a little secret for everybody as well. So stay tuned. This is Josh and Al, Investing and Trading Live. We will be right back.